name is Shar, and this is the And Other Stories podcast, where I read stories of the supernatural and criminal, both real and fictional, works of fiction written by me. Today I'm going to be reading something quite personal about the death of my mum from breast cancer. On Sunday it will be 10 years since she passed away, and I wrote this when it had been 5 years since she'd passed away. And it was something that helped me deal with the grieving process. She calls for me. It has been 5 long years since I've heard that voice, yet it comes to my ears now as clear as a bell. When I tell you my mum died of breast cancer, it feels like I'm lying to you. How on earth could she be dead? That is just ridiculous, impossible. Because people don't die. Not really. That's what I had thought. Also, I thought I would never be able to tell anyone she had died because, if that happened, I would die with her. There would be no situation in which I would be saying those words. The world would cease to exist first. Except it didn't. Somehow that day moved on to 2 days, then 3, then a week, a month, until, before I knew it, 5 years had passed. I thought about her every day. People told me this is normal. Grieving is not a linear process. All the usual cliches. Words mean nothing. I lay there at night and tried to battle the unwanted thoughts about her last days. I tried to ignore the crushing guilt that sat like a granite boulder on my chest. Still, I woke up every day. I went to work. I did everyday tasks, and things weren't as bad as they were those first few months. Life inexplicably moved on. Which brings me to today. Right now, in fact. As I lie in bed, pitch blackness, apart from a vague orange glow which leaks through the edges of the blackout curtains. I am on the verge of sleep and I hear a voice. It's been 5 long years since I've heard that voice. Yet it comes to my ears now as clear as a bell. My sleep-intoxicated mind is slow to react, but as I emerge up through the levels of consciousness, the voice calls again. Am I really still asleep? I've dreamed of her before, but it has rarely been a true representation. She would be deformed or warped in some way, or I would find I could not look directly at her. Her voice would be completely wrong, too shrill or too faint. This voice, although far away, was hers without question. I lie without moving. Adrenaline has given me a violent shove into wakefulness, and my heart pounds loudly in my ears as I strain to hear any other noise. My eyes at their widest capacity stare into the darkness and rove wildly around the empty room, which had seemed so familiar and comforting an hour ago, but now seems menacing and strange. In the absence of any other sound, I raise my head slowly off the pillow until I am perched on one elbow, releasing my other ear to assist its partner, and to hear this voice that must surely be some waking dream. Slowly, very slowly, trying not to make a single sound, not the creak of the bed or the thump of a footfall, so I don't pollute my ears with anything other than sounds that are coming from outside of this room. I push the duvet off of my body, bringing a cold chill that raises goosebumps on my bare arms, and I start towards the door. I can hear her now. The room is pitch black. The air rings with silence, except for the soft calling my name, just like she used to. I lie back down, curled on my side, cover pulled up to my chin. I try to be so still, my muscles strain, my eyes so wide and unblinking. It's her. I would know her voice anywhere. It has been 5 long years since I heard her voice. The last thing I had said to her, "I love you, Googleplex." We had never said that before. It was a stupid thing I had thought of to say to reassure her. Because I was leaving her. What an idiot. I was leaving her when she was attached to an oxygen tank. When she was so weak that she couldn't lift her head off the pillow or speak beyond a whisper. I was leaving her to have a party. Why? I should have stayed. I should have stayed for as long as I could. I told myself I would be back in the week, that I could go back to her through the week until Christmas, and then I could be there for a couple of weeks. She was obviously never going to make it to Christmas. It had been the very next day that Dad had called me. At 10:30 I got a feeling like I had fallen off a cliff. I actually put my hands on my desk to steady myself. Then a short while after that I got the news that ended my life. When she died, the me that she knew died too. I ceased to exist. I was a walking corpse. There was no peace. The physical torment was too much. Too much. I needed someone there with me at all times, or I felt like I was leaving the earth, drifting off into the vast black abyss. It was like looking into the night sky that had no stars, then it was suddenly turned upside down, and I was falling. The seconds ticked by. I walked, I talked, I ate. I went back to work. It became easier to put on a normal face. At times a sudden memory would leave me doubled over and winded, like a swift punch to the gut. But those became fewer. The new life started, the different person, the one that rose from the ashes of the dead me. I wasn't stronger, I didn't battle on. I just endured. The seconds turned to minutes, to hours, to days, to weeks, to months, to years. And here we are, 5 years to the day. And she's calling me. There's no one else in this house. The bedroom door is closed, the doors and windows are locked. The voice is floating up the stairs from the floor below, echoing in the silence. She is still calling as I drift off to sleep. I'm telling you I heard her, I tell my dad. He doesn't believe me. You've had these waking dreams before, Poppet. Remember when you kept seeing the spiders? This wasn't the same. I wasn't even asleep, I insist. Why don't you go see the doctor about it? I'll give you something to help you sleep, he says with concern. It sounded just like her, I say quietly. She's not here, Poppet. She's in heaven, watching you all the time, and she's very proud of you. When I was little, I was always certain about my religion. God was in heaven looking after us all, and when we die, we go to heaven. Simple. Now I had no idea. To be quite honest, the idea that we just die and know nothing more was more comforting to me than an idea of what might be waiting for us on another spiritual plane. People would always insist that she is still with us, but, like my sister always says, that's just the problem. She's not. It's the second night. The clock glows 11:12 p.m. The calling starts. Softly at first, like last night. I lie frozen and listen. It seems closer, like she's right at the bottom of the stairs. I need to go and see, but I'm unable to move. A long silence. The clock clicks to 11:13. I jump up as the voice shouts. She is pleading. Her voice cracks as she says my name. I must go. Shaking, I draw the covers away from me slowly. My bare feet touch the carpet as I start to inch toward the door. My heart bounds in my chest. With a trembling hand, I reach out for the handle to the bedroom door. The voice is so close as I open the door. Nothing. Just empty, dark silence engulfs me. There's no one there. Have I been dreaming? I feel so awake. I strain my ears again for any sound and find nothing. My body sags. I am so tired. So tired of missing her. So tired of being tortured by thoughts of her. Thoughts of how she died. Thoughts of how I behaved while she was dying. Thoughts of how I need her back. I'm so tired. I turn back to my bed, the door still open. I've taken one step when the scream, the most blood-chilling scream, a scream of a dying woman, fills the whole house. My breath comes in painful stutters as I cling to the door handle for support. It had been her scream. With an audible draw of breath, she shouts my name in terrified, panicked desperation. I have no choice. I run to the stairs and stumble down them, my legs liquefied. I pause at the door to the lounge. Breathing in short gasps, I open the door. In the dim light, I can make out a shadow sitting on the sofa, short and female. My hand gropes for the switch to the light, and then I see her. Sitting with her hands in her lap, her head bowed as if in prayer. I stand there and my tears fall silently to the floor. She finally looks up at me and smiles. All pain, all the fight, all the tension of holding myself in one solid piece, all the fear, all the absolute torment of living just one day to the next, knowing that I will never see her again, vanishes. I am whole again. She is here. There, says the nurse, as she injects my arm with a slight pinch, tightening my bed straps. You'll feel calmer with that in a minute, my love. But I am happy. I smile. I can see her. Thanks for listening. I hope you liked it. I'm Shar, and this is the And Other Stories podcast. See you next time.